Hello sweet soul and welcome back to my channel. I'm Ina and today we're going to enjoy a 15-minute morning yoga routine where we will wake up our entire body. We'll get started in a child's pose, bringing your toes together, your knees further apart or closer together depending on what feels best today. Sinking your hips towards your heels, melting your heart space, your forehead and your hands towards the floor. Maybe walking your tops of your hands even further to the top of your mat, lengthening your entire upper body. Start enjoying a few deep breaths here, connecting with yourself, with your breath, and with your body. If you want, you can roll your forehead from left to right, massaging your third eye, the space in between your eyebrows. On your next inhale, lengthening your upper body even more, walking your hands to the top of your mat, and on your exhale, walking your hands all the way over to the right side. Maybe you want to clasp your left hand on top of your right if that's accessible, trying to keep your left hips grounded and square to the mat, finding a nice side stretch in your left side. Again here, finding movement or stillness. Deep inhale, and on your next exhale, return back to center. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, walking your hands over to the left, staying grounded through your right hip, and finding a nice side stretch in your right side this time. Keep breathing deeply here, and using your breath to take up space internally as well. Deep inhale, and on your next exhale, return back to center. Bringing your knees about hip width apart now, and your toes as well. And then start walking your hands even further to the top of your mat, letting your heart space melt down to the floor, finding your puppy pose, Anahatasana. Maybe you can bring your forehead on the floor, or if you practice a little more advanced, maybe your chin. Keeping your hands about shoulder width apart. Unless it's not comfortable, then maybe try to take them out further to the outside edges of your mat. Pushing yourself back up into your tabletop position, bringing your wrists below your shoulders, shoulder width apart. Fingers are grounded into the floor. Your navel is pulling towards your spine. Your knees are hip width apart. Your feet are hip width apart. On your next inhale, dropping your belly, bringing your shoulders back and down, maybe lifting your sacrum and your head up to the sky. And on your exhale, pushing through your hands, rounding your back, looking towards your navel and spreading your shoulders. Inhale, shoulders back and down, dropping the belly. Exhale, rounding yourself. A couple more in your own time. Continuing here, or inviting more intuitive movements, moving in any shape or form that feels good right now. Allowing yourself to be creative. If your body allows, maybe coming all the way forwards into your upward facing dog. Your wrists are still below your shoulders, shoulders are back and down, engaging your glutes, pressing the tops of your feet into the floor and lifting your knees up. And then maybe coming onto one side. And then the other. Opening up your sides a little more. And on your next exhale, rolling over your toes and finding your first downward facing dog. You can bring your toes together or your feet hip width apart. You can walk out your dog if that feels good, keeping your knees bent if needed or wanted, raising your sacrum up to the sky while trying to ground through your heels into the floor. Your hands are grounded into the floor, pushing the floor away from you. Your shoulders are engaged and your neck is long. Coming back through your tabletop. Inhale, lifting your right hand, and exhale, thread the needle. Your right palm is facing up, maybe coming onto your right shoulder and side of your head. You can keep your left hand here or find any other variation that feels good. maybe bringing it to the top of your mat, or inviting a half bind where you bring your left hand on the inside of your right inner thigh. Keep breathing deeply here, even if you're a little more restricted due to a twist. Getting ready, placing your hands back on the floor. Inhale, lifting your right hand all the way back up. And exhale, returning to your tabletop position. Let's repeat this on the other side. Inhale, lifting your left hand all the way up, and exhale, thread the needle, finding your variation. Getting ready. Pressing your right hand into the floor, inhale, lifting your left hand all the way up, and exhale, return back to center. Now extend your left leg, dropping your left foot in one line with the bottom of your mat, tilting out your right foot slightly behind you, pressing through your right hand, and on your next inhale, lifting your left hand all the way up, bringing your palm facing down, finding another side stretch, engaging your right glutes. If you want, you can also invite a back bend here, or any other intuitive movement that feels good. Gently returning back to center, and let's find the same thing on the other side. Extending your right leg, dropping the foot in one line with the bottom of your mat, slightly tilting out your left foot behind you. Inhale, right hand up and over. Potentially enjoying another back bend here. Gently coming back out. And pushing yourself back into your downward facing dog. Coming onto your toes, inhale, lifting your right leg all the way up into your three-legged downward facing dog. Opening up your hips. And on your exhale, coming into your low lunge. You can keep your hands on the floor if that feels better, or lift them up, palms facing towards each other, shoulders back and down from the ears. You can stay here or enjoy a couple of side bends, bringing your right hand down, left hand up and over, palm facing down, grounding into your hips, keeping them parallel to your mat, maybe gently looking up. And then return back to center, maybe bringing your left hand to the floor, the right hand up and over now. You're doing great. On your next exhale, coming into your half split, you can keep your right leg bent. Just make sure that you're flexing your front toes. If it resonates, you can flow between your low lunge and your half split, or just stay wherever feels better. On your next inhale, coming back forwards into your low lunge, tucking your left toes, lifting your left knee off the floor. Inhale, right hand all the way up. And on your exhale, coming onto the outside edges of your feet into your monkey. Inhale back up. Exhale, monkey. Last round. Maybe quickly stretching through both of your legs, finding a pyramid variation, and then transitioning back into your downward facing dog. We'll repeat this on the other side. Inhale, coming up onto your toes into your three-legged down dog. Opening up your hips. And on your exhale, coming into your low lunge. Allowing yourself to getting all the wiggles out, making it feel good, making sure your right leg is in one line with the hip this time. If you enjoyed the side stretches on your right side, feel free to also incorporate them now. Making sure you keep your hips even with the mat and ground into your hips. Potentially finding the other side. And on your next exhale, finding your half split. Optional again to flow between your low lunge and your half split. Just making sure that you're flexing your left toes in your half split and that one of your hips isn't poking out too much. So maybe pulling the left hip a little further back to keep your hips square. On your next inhale, shifting forwards into your low lunge, tucking your right toes, lifting your right knee off the floor. Inhale, left hand all the way up. And on your exhale, coming back onto the outside edges of your feet into your monkey. Inhale to lift. Exhale to twist. Last time. Inhale to lift. Exhale to twist. Maybe quickly stretching through both of your legs, finding a pyramid variation, and then coming back into your downward facing dog for one deep breath. Then dropping your knees, and let's come into a quad stretch. Tucking your pelvis, your knees and feet are about hip width apart or touching, whatever feels better. And then start leaning backwards. If you have a little more intermediate or advanced practice, feel free to press up into your camel if that feels good. Or if you want to try, come up onto your knees. Your knees are hip width apart, your toes are hip width apart. Tucking your pelvis, engaging your core, bringing your shoulders back and down, placing your hands, palms facing up or down above your glutes, energetically pulling your elbows towards each other and lifting up from your heart space. Maybe looking up if accessible, maybe looking back and gently pushing your hips forwards while keeping your glutes engaged. And keep making sure to lift from your heart space. Feel free to come out, lowering your hips to your heels, grabbing onto your heels, bringing the crown of your head onto the floor, and then lifting your hips up into the sky, finding your rabbit pose. And then finally finding your child's pose. Always respecting your current stage and how your body feels today. Not forcing anything, just enjoying the movements, the stretches, being one with your breath and yourself, wherever you are. You can stay here for as long as feels good, checking in with yourself how you're feeling now compared to the beginning of your practice, and how you can treat yourself better on and off your mat. Thank you so much for letting me guide you through today's class. If you feel inspired to continue your mindfulness journey, please follow this desire of prioritizing the time you're creating for yourself and join me on your mats for more yoga, meditation, breath work, or travel yoga vlogs. The love and light in me see and honor the love and light in you. Happy today and see you soon.